How's it going, Luke?
Good.
How are the reps, going at practice day? You getting lion share? Is it kind of a competition, or just how are things going in preparation of what could or could not happen?
Yeah, I mean, we're business as usual. Reps are pretty much the same as they have been. Everybody's getting reps. Everybody's continuing to get better and compete. It's just normal Tuesday around here. We had a good day today, and just getting ready to go on the road and find a way to beat Missouri.
Luke, it's 3 games. You guys have struggled offensively, I would say. What do you feel like are the biggest offensive problems right now?
I think, you look at from an outsider's point of view, there have been some struggles, but you go back and really break down the tape, you watch it, the difference is little, and the things that aren't going the way we want them to go, it's just minor things that are very easily fixable. Technique, having our eyes in the right spot, and really just doing what we're coached to do. That's really what it comes down to. And that's stuff that we work on pretty much every single day out of the week. And you go into Saturday and, by preparing the right way during the week, you give yourself a shot to win. So, that's what we're going to try to do this week and, get it done on Saturday.
Like in the game on Saturday night, you guys crossed the 50 several times, got in the red zone. What's a big thing for you guys to be able to just convert on those trips when you do kind of get past the 50?
Yeah, I think just same thing. I mean, just everybody really locking in and on doing their job. And again, that's something that we continue to strive to work for. We're going to get that done this week.
Luke, even with the guy with all of your experience playing quarterback in different positions, what's the biggest challenge for you when you go into a game, especially an SEC game, and you haven't been playing a lot of quarterback?
I think, anybody we play in this league, it's going to be a challenge. It doesn't matter if it's, if it's Vanderbilt, Tennessee, Georgia, like everybody in this league is good. So I wouldn't say there's anything that's, just that stands out to me other than just being ready to go when my number's called. And I think that's something that I try to, I challenge myself every single day out of the week to prepare as if I am the starter, so that when moments, like Saturday happen, I'm ready to go and I can step in and do what I need to do. So I'd say I would challenge myself, more of a challenge to myself to make sure that I'm prepared in those moments.
Luke, when you say prepare like you are the starter, are you anticipating starting on Saturday?
Coach Beamer will be in here in a little bit. Y'all can ask him. I really don't know. Like I said, we had a good day of practice today, so whoever steps out on the field on Saturday is going to be ready to go.
Luke, on Saturday, there were a handful, not too many, of plays where it just seemed like there was a free rusher right at the quarterback. How many times is that on the quarterback to pick up that blitz and kind of navigate guys around it to pick it up?
Yeah, I think, it's not necessarily anybody's fault. And I think it goes back to having a good communication with the offensive line. And as long as we are both on the same page, there really were no surprises, I think. I was always, and Lenore's probably tell you the same thing. Like, we were always very, very much coordinated with offensive line. Like, we know where we're picked up. We know where our issues are. And, again, that's something that we strive to do. Pre-snap perfection, as Coach Shula calls it, is, knowing where our issues are before the ball snapped, knowing where our answers are if we do get a free rusher. And then if something happens that we weren't expecting, just take care of the ball. And, like I said, it's just something that we got to, obviously continue to get better at, is just making the right calls up front, and us as quarterbacks being in tune with what they're doing up front.
Luke, this may be a dumb question, but how much does the offense change when you're in there compared to like do they try to do things that cater best to what your skill set is, or is it kind of just the same whether it was Lenore's or yourself?
Yeah, we have we all run the same plays throughout the week. We all get reps at the plays we have in on the call sheet. So the game plan really doesn't change much at all. Sure, I might like some things that Lenore's doesn't, but everything on that call sheet is up for whoever's in the game.
Luke, if it does end up where you're playing significant stats for this game or going forward, just how much of a full circle moment is that for you from coming in and being able to start and then kind of going back, learning wide receiver and everything else, and then back in the chair?
Yeah, I mean, it just you said it's all full circle, and it's been a crazy journey, but the journey's nowhere close to being over. So I'm just thankful every single time I get to step out on the field, practice field. Williams-Brice. We're going to Columbia, Missouri this weekend. Like, that's going to be an awesome trip for us, and this year just trying to soak in every single moment and really just appreciate it because I've been there when it's gone, and I know how that is, and just really thankful every single moment I get to step on the field.
Obviously, we talked a lot about Nick's growth, in the offseason, but just talking about the last 3 games specifically, he's been the most consistent receiver. Going forward, as the offense is just trying to gel, I guess, how important is it having someone like him who's been showing up week after week?
Yeah, great question. Yeah, I mean, Nick's been awesome. Just in being able to be a part of a kid like that, his growth, being able to, kind of be there by his side. He was my weight room, like my rack partner in the weight room in the winter and over the summer. And just to be able to be with him every single day and see the work that he puts in and just the care factor that the kid brings every single day. It's no surprise that he's showing up on the field on Saturdays. And it goes back to practice. It's the way you practice. And that ultimately carries over to how you're going to play in the game. And, he practices his tail off. There's not a moment where he's, just loafing around, down on himself. Like, if he has a bad play, he's right back to the next one, flushes it, and just continues to roll. And I think we're starting to see more of that on Saturday, and just the way that he plays and the passion that he brings to his game, because he truly wants to be the best that he can. And I think he's really starting to show that.
Luca, we all know what Mazeo Bennett can do. It seems early in this year that's kind of struggled to get him the ball. From a quarterback's point of view, how does that improve? What do you guys got to do to get him more involved?
Yeah, I think it just it goes back to everyone doing their jobs. And if Mazeo's on the field, he's a guy that we can trust to do his job. And I think that if you want to talk to Coach Beamer about that or Coach Furry about that, feel free. But for us, it doesn't matter who's on the field. You got to do your job, and Mazeo's done a really good job of that in practice. B-Row's done a great job of it, and like Coach Beamer says, I mean, there's competition going on at every single position. So no matter who takes the field at any position, we know that they're guys that we can trust, and we can trust to go out there and do their job.
Luke, you've been to Missouri a few times now. It seems like it's just been kind of a house of horrors for you guys, honestly. I mean, what is it about that trip that's always been difficult for you guys as a team?
I think it just I think it comes down to going into another I guess environment other than our own, and finding a way to get our energy going, kind of spark something that kind of we would get when we're at home. And that's just life on the road in the SEC. And, we talked about it today with Coach Beamer, like, we got to be able to handle those environments, and we got to create energy of our own and be able to go out there and play just like we would if we were at home. So I think, we did a good job today in practice of, just getting after it and competing. So, I mean, that's really what it's going to come down to, is our guys against theirs on the road making plays. And, we'll make more than they do this weekend and find a way to win the game.
What did Jordan Dingle do at practice, do you think, to get himself more playing time? And what was it like, watching him kind of come into his own as, a pass catcher for you guys last week?
Yeah, I mean, that tight end room is so diverse. There's so many guys in there, Dingle's obviously one of them, but you got Brady Hunt, Mo Brown, Mike Smith, Lucas Voza. I mean, like all those guys in that room work hard, and Dingle's done a great job of practicing really hard, knowing what to do when he gets on the field, and really just carve out a role for himself. And you see him on offense. The tight end's got a hard job. They got to run block. They got to pass block. They got to run routes. They got to know all the protection stuff with the offensive line. So they've got a hard job, and those guys do a really, really good job of knowing what to do when they get out there. And obviously, like you said, Dingle has done a great job of just knowing what to do and taking it upon himself to make it important. And I think like all those guys that I mentioned, they all make it important to them. And just really thankful to have those guys in that room. And obviously Sean Elliott, he's awesome, and he does a great job with them. So cool. Appreciate y'all.